Way down south, beneath the neon star, there's a man who plays the hot guitar. They come by wagon and they come by car. Hear this man play the hot guitar. One fine night they were having a ball. The joint was jumping and rocking the hall. The hot guitar is set with a smile. From buck up through, it's anybody's style. Up stepped a man from Tennessee, laid the buck in the kitty so easy and free. I'm from Nashville, he said with a smile. Play me a chorus like Thumb's Carlisle. That's real great, I heard someone call. Now play me a chorus that tops Les Paul. Les was great and Thumb's no drag, but Hank's my favorite and the Sugarfoot rag. Man, oh man, ain't that the stuff? Play me something like Roy Acuff. The joint was jumping at a terrific pace when someone shouted, "It's a hot rod race." They hollered and they shouted and laughed with glee and divorced Merle Travis by C.O.D. Play something sweet like you've never heard. Give us a chorus like Jury Bird. Lay down your pick and lose your sins. Have a break like Chet Atkins. Well, he plays them low and he plays them high. Sometimes he plays them up to the sky. Way down south, beneath the neon star, the man keeps playing that hot guitar. The come by wagon and the come by car, as long as that man plays the hot guitar. Get on board the steamer down in South Illinois. Soon you'll notice that your heart is jumping with joy. Way off in the distance you can see old St. Lou. Then you'll know nobody could be happy as you. Your toe begins to tapping out the funniest jive. You holler glory, hallelujah, ain't it great to be alive? Nothing great as Memphis in the middle of June, when you're dancing with a cutie neath the Tennessee moon. You tell yourself you know you won't fall under her spell. Your heart keeps hoping someone's got a cottage to sell. Stranger things have happened when you're out on a romp. She set her cap to get you to the Steamboat Stomp. Steamboat Stomp, Steamboat Stomp. Your heart begins to rattle like the rattle of a paddle to the Steamboat Stomp, the Dreamboat Stomp. And after 20 kisses, she's a Mississippi missus, and you're floating down the river on a short honeymoon. You hold her hand and listen to an old southern tune. See the picket fences peeping out through the trees. You smell the Creole cooking floating out on the breeze. The steward brings you gumbo coupled with rice and beans. You holler, heaven help me honey, we're in New Orleans. Steamboat Stomp, Steamboat Stomp. Your heart begins to rattle like the rattle to the paddle to the Steamboat Stomp, the Dreamboat Stomp. And after 20 kisses, she's a Mississippi missus, and you're floating down the river on a short honeymoon. You hold her hand and listen to an old southern tune. See the picket fences peeping out through the trees. You smell the Creole cooking floating out on the breeze. The steward brings you gumbo cuppa with rice and beans. You holler, heaven help me honey, we're in New Orleans. Stranger things have happened when you're out on a roam. You tighten the knot and look what you got in the Steamboat Stomp.
Brother, that's alright, 'cause me and that sweet woman's got a license to fight. Why don't you mind your own business? Oh, mind your own business. 'Cause if you mind your business, then you won't be minding mine. Oh, I've got a little gal that bears her hair up high. The boys all whistle every time she goes by. Why don't they mind their own business? Why don't they mind their own business? Well, if they mind their business, then they won't be minding mine. Nosy old thing. She picks up her receiver when she knows it's my ring. Why don't she mind her own business? Why don't she mind her own business? Well, if she'd mind her business, then she won't be minding mine. honky-tonk around till 2 or 3. Now, brother, that's my headache. Don't you worry about me. Why don't you mind your own business? Why don't you mind your own business? 'Cause if you mind your business, then you won't be mine in mine. Seems to be high tone, but I've got all that I can do, just minding my own. Now why don't you mind your own business? Why don't you mind your own business? 'Cause if you mind your business, then you won't be mine in mine. Your little thumpin' gizzard, you treat me like a low-life lizard, 'cause you know you've got me up a tree. Our love was like a flaming wizard, now you're colder than a winter blizzard. Won't you squeeze the stuffings out of me? Now I can't forget the day I met you. You got mad because I wet you when I dropped you down in the well. Now your daddy shot before you kissed me. I bet he's glad he didn't miss me, 'cause I've heard that was his only shell. Made me hear thunder, now you're trying to snow me under. I'm feared to poke my noggin out, but kissing you is my persuader, gooder and snuff and better and taters, and I'm gonna squeeze your gizzard out. Summer into winter, my long handles must be thinner. Don't you think it's time for Santa Claus? Now I could never change the weather, a change in you would suit me better, but you've got some awful looking claws. Oh, bless your little thumpin' gizzard, you treat me like a low-life lizard, 'cause you know you've got me up a tree. Our love was like a flaming wizard, now you're colder than a winter blizzard. Won't you squeeze the stuffings out of me? I was a little kid, they took me off to school to learn what the teacher had to say to be an educated fool. I just sat there and took it all in like I was having fun. But listen to me, brother, 'cause here's what it has done. Now I'm a man of no mean stability, a man of great personality, in benevolent stage of prognostication, and my copperosity ain't exaggeration.
Yes, it's nice to go to school to learn what the teacher knows, like reading and writing and arithmetic and counting on your toes. Now, I'll admit I ain't so smart when it comes to saying big words, but if the teacher could only hear me now, here's a few that she ain't heard. Now, I'm a man of no mean stability, a man of great personality, in benevolent stage of prognostication and macabrosity in exaggeration. Great big man and through and done with school, I can tell that teacher a thing or two, for I'm an educated fool. I hope she stops and takes it all in and has a lot of fun when she sees what her learning has went and made me done. Now I'm a man of no mean stability, a man of great personality, in benevolent stage of prognostication and macabrosity in exaggeration, in benevolent stage of prognostication and macabrosity in exaggeration. When a plowboy starts to pitch and woo instead of pitching hay, he's heading straight for trouble in the good old-fashioned way. 'Cause the gal, just like a stubborn mule, she's heartless to the core. The very first time she throws him off, he's heading back for more. Well, he milks the pigs and slops the cows and feeds the chickens hay, saves the feathers from the nest at night and throws the eggs away. It's the darndest thing you ever saw, but it's always that way when a plowboy starts to pitch and woo instead of pitching hay. Doesn't know at first the heartache she can bring, 'cause Cupid's dart has hit him hard and goodness does it sting. He doesn't care about his work, he's lost all interest now. A trifling gal has roped his neck just like you rope a cow. Well, he milks the pigs and slops the cows and feeds the chickens hay, saves the feathers from the nest at night and throws the eggs away. It's the darndest thing you ever saw, but it's always that way when a plowboy starts to pitch and woo instead of pitching hay. Days that once were his are coming to an end, while a future that looks dark and cold is ready to begin. Why does he still desire her heart? Why does her love he trust, when all she'll do is pitch and roar and make him bite the dust? Well, he milks the pigs and slops the cows and feeds the chickens hay, saves the feathers from the nest at night and throws the eggs away. It's the darndest thing you ever saw, but it's always that way when a plowboy starts to pitch and woo instead of pitching hay. When a plowboy starts to pitch and woo instead of pitching hay. pain. The troubles I've got will drive a guy insane. I love that woman and I don't get far. She got a cold, cold heart. She loves a hot guitar. Took the night train to Nashville, the opera to see. Hoped to get in some lovin' cause the party's on me. Stole a little kiss and I saw stars. She must have been listening to the hot guitars. Tubbs come out, folks give him a hand. His stuff went over to beat the band. This cold, cold woman said the best she ever heard when Ernest Tubb hollered, "Come in, Billy Bird." Now we were in luck and we should have been thrilled when Red Foley said, "Let's present Bob Wills." Cold Ice Bag really had her fun with, take it away, Leon. My life's so sad and it ain't much fun. This cold, cold woman keeps me on the run. Night and day from bar to bar for one more course on the hot guitar. Been listening to a station down Mexico way. 10 easy lessons, $1 all you pay. My thoughts ever wander from a note too far. I melt her cold heart with my hot guitar. The boys around the record shop started up a rhythm band. Each night when things begin to pop, all the gang is right on hand. You can see that upright start to rock when it's played by Billy Sam. He ticks just like a grandpa clock when he plays that mountain jam. The people start to cut a rug, that mandolin sounds so sweet. He picks that little old tater bug till the strings begin to heat. How he gets such music from a war, I can't understand. But the dancers set their shoes on fire when he plays that mountain jam. When he slaps that bass with a zoom, 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 zoom. He stands there with a deadpan face, but he sweeps just like a broom. He can make that rhythm walk the chalk just as gentle as a lamb. And he almost makes that doghouse talk when he plays that mountain jam. Let's not forget old Fiddlin' Troy when he drags his mellow bow. He can make the people jump for joy, he's a cinch to stop the show. He can make your worries disappear like a plate of country ham. And you learn to grin from year to year when you hear that mountain jam. And you learn to grin from year to year when you hear that mountain jam. Way down
down yonder in the state of Arkansas, where my great-grandpa met my great-grandma. They drink apple cider and they get on a jag and dance all night to the salty dog rag. They play it on the fiddle like you never heard before. They play the only tune that they ever did know. It's a ragtime ditty and the rhythm don't drag. Here's the way you dance to the salty dog rag. A 1 foot front, then drag it back. Then you start to ball in the jack. You shake and you break and then you zag. If your partner zigs, you're supposed to zag. Your heart is light, you tap your feet and the rhythm with that ragtime beat. Pack up your troubles in an old kit bag. Dance all night to the salty dog rag. Down south neath the old southern moon, the possum up a tree and the hound dog croons. Hitch up the buggy to a broken down nag and go out dancing to the salty dog rag. They tune up the fiddle and they rosin up the bow, strike a C chord on the old banjo, then holler, hang on, cause we ain't gonna drag. Here's the way you dance to the salty dog rag. A 1 foot front, then drag it back. Then you'll start to ball in the jack. You shake and you break and then you zag. If your partner zigs, you're supposed to zag. Your heart is light, you tap your feet in rhythm with that ragtime beat. Pack up your troubles in an old kit bag and dance all night to the salty dog rag. Drag it back, then you start to ball in the jack. You shake and you break and then you zag. If your partner zigs, you're supposed to zag. Your heart is light and you tap your feet in rhythm with that ragtime beat. Pack up your troubles in an old kit bag and dance all night to the salty dog rag.
Down in old Kentucky, who thinks his rabbit foot is mighty lucky. He never stopped to think it seems kind of funny. It wasn't luck that got that poor little bunny. It was buckshot, buckshot. Every time that shotgun cracks, it sends cold chills oozing down my back. It was buckshot. Well, I called on the gal the other night. Her paw was there, plumb full of fight. I took off a run and just splitting the breeze, and then I heard it whistling through the trees. It was buckshot, buckshot. Every time that shotgun cracks, it sends cold chills oozing down my back. It was buckshot. Said his gun had a lot of hot knocks. Shoot 12 miles and start throwing rocks. I called him a liar, but I couldn't wait, cause that fool had done started to demonstrate. It was buckshot, buckshot. Every time that shotgun cracks, it sends cold chills oozing down my back. It was buckshot. Down on the farm, walking across the patch with one in each arm. I heard a big bang and I left the ground. There's no mistaking that familiar sound. It was buckshot, buckshot. Every time that shotgun cracks, it sends cold chills oozing down my back. It was buckshot. My home and decided to roam. I had no car to call my own. I had to hitchhike, had thumb fever. I was standing on the highway and a car come by. I jumped right in and he put her in high. One of them super fireball age. Lightning. I slammed the door and thanked the man, and right there's where the ride began. He shoved his foot down to the fan and I started grabbing. Murder. We took off in a blaze of light. I grabbed the dash with all of my might, heading for Memphis, straightening out curves. We sailed along for a quarter of an hour, decided to use that fireball power. I said, you better buzz the tower, he's flying low, skipping treetops. Hand fell on 105, and then he threw over an overdrive. And buddy, I started praying. We sailed around a curve at an awful pace, and we met a truck just face to face, and what we needed most was space, but we made it. My prayers was answered. I shivered and shook, and about 4 miles later, he still was training that carburetor, and my teeth is a chattered, chipping too. While we was a-traveling this awful pace, a man in the Hudson wanted to race, and did we throw rocks in that Hudson's face? We left him 1 minute to live. He turned the radio on soft and dim, and there they was playing my favorite hymn. When the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there. He stopped for a light and I jumped to my feet. He left me standing in the middle of the street. I stood there watching that long red streak. The man was crazy, committing suicide. Brushed off the dust he left behind. Right then and there I made up my mind. From now on, I'm walking. Well, my head's in a whirl. Since you said you'd be my girl, I'm flying high, wide and handsome. Never thought I'd fall. Now you've got me on the ball. I'm flying high, wide and handsome. Well, I didn't ever plan to be a married man, but I won't be a bachelor after all. So baby, fix that noose. Don't you ever turn me loose. I'm flying high, wide and handsome. Cause I sure don't feel no pain. I'm flying high, wide and handsome. I'd be glad to do any little thing you ask me to. I'm flying high, wide and handsome. Well, I feel just like a king, with the crown and every little thing, and all I need is a queen, and that is you. So baby, let's go to town, pick you out a wedding gown. I'm flying high, wide and handsome. I'm flying high, wide and handsome. I wanna go on a lovin' spree, wanna love until there just ain't nothing left of me. But I wouldn't go on a lovin' spree with anyone else but you. Now I wanna go on a hugging binge, wanna hug until my arms is a-coming off of the hinge. But I wouldn't go on a hugging binge with anyone else but you.
Kiss me hard, now kiss me strong, but kiss me harder and kiss me long. Now kiss me right and kiss me wrong. Let's go crazy. I wanna go on a lovin' spree, wanna love, so you just gotta keep me company. 'Cause I wouldn't go on a lovin' spree with anyone else but you. Kiss me hard and kiss me strong. Kiss me harder and kiss me long. Ah, kiss me right, 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 kiss me wrong. Let's go crazy. I wanna go on a lovin' spree, wanna love, so you just gotta keep me company. 'Cause I wouldn't go on a lovin' spree with anyone else but you. To old John? Who wrote that letter to old John? Now isn't it a crying shame the gal forgot to sign her name? Who wrote that letter to old John? Once there was a soldier boy and his name was John. He had so many sweethearts, their names go on and on. They called his name out loud and clear one morning at mail call. And when he read that letter, then the tears began to fall. Who wrote that letter to old John? Who wrote that letter to old John? Now isn't it a crying shame the gal forgot to sign her name? Who wrote that letter to old John? Now John set out one lonely night to write out his reply. He must have got mixed up somehow, and here's the reason why. He wrote a dozen letters to every gal he'd known. The answers still are coming in from Jean and Ann and Joan. Who wrote that letter to old John? Who wrote that letter to old John? Now isn't it a crying shame the gal forgot to sign her name? Who wrote that letter to old John? Now the postman's working overtime, his mail's increased a lot. I wonder if we'll ever know how many girls John's got. Old Johnny pulled KP today out in that army camp. He couldn't wash the dishes 'cause he had the writer's cramp. Who wrote that letter to old John? Who wrote that letter to old John? Now isn't it a crying shame the gal forgot to sign her name? Who wrote that letter to old John? Poor old John. The world is full of pretty girls and you can have your choice. There's small ones and tall ones to make your heart rejoice. But there is just one pretty girl who wears a hands-off sign. And if you wanna be my friend, remember she's all mine. Oh, she is slender and tender, slender, tender and sweet. Well, I love the way she hits the ground when she's walking down the street. She's only 60 inches high and every inch a treat. She's slender and tender, slender, tender and sweet. Now Josephine and Geraldine are two swell gals for you. Well, there's Millie and Tilly and pretty little Murray Lou. There's many girls outside of mine that ain't so hard to take. So I'll describe my gal for you so you'll make no mistake. Hot dog, she's slender and tender, slender, tender, and sweet. Well, I love the way she hits the ground when she's running down the street. She ain't but 60 inches high and every inch a treat. She's slender and tender, slender, tender, and sweet. Now when I hold her in my arms, she's just the perfect size. She's slimmer and trimmer and easy on the eyes. You've got a reputation, pal, for stealing gals away, so I won't introduce you to her till our wedding day. That youngin' is slender and tender, slender, tender, and sweet. Well, I love the way she hits the ground when she's running down the street. She ain't but 60 inches high and every inch a treat. She's slender and tender, slender, tender, and sweet. Yuns have all heard the sad stories of the trouble some of the gravy sop and coffee pot dodgers are having with their romances.
Well, tell them about it, Eddard.
That cotton picking letter that poor old John got.
It's the worst I ever see.
Divorce him, PDQ.
Throw up them dadgum papers, lawyer.
And this youngin' calls another man pappy.
Oh, the shame of it all.
But I just want you to know that everybody ain't in such a bad shape. Let me tell you about my little sugar booger.
Oh, friend, stand back. He's gonna sing.
It's my little sugar booger. Everybody wants to hug her, but she'll only pucker up for me. If you get hold of my girl, I'll warp you with a wet squirrel. I'll knock your eyeballs out you can't see. I wanna bawl and squall and run up the wall when my booger gives sugar to me. When I take her in my arms and sample all of her charms, she's gooder than snuff and better than taters, you see. While I'm a-bumping my gums and a-wagging my jaw, give my little red garters to her ma and pa. I really crochet just what that they have done, 'cause that sugar booger is the only one to axle greasing from town. That's where I can be found, keeping sugar booger company. She's corn-fed and hand-spanked, her folks you ought to be thanked for raising sugar booger for me. When there's gravy to sop, she don't spill nary drop, never slings the skillet at me. She cooks a lot of soup, beans, a mess of turnip greens. I made a plum hog out of me. While I'm a-bumping my gums and a-wagging my jaw, give my little red garters to her ma and pa. I really crochet just what that they have done, 'cause that sugar booger is the only one to axle greasing from town. That's where I can be found, keeping sugar booger company. She's corn-fed and hand-spanked, her folks you ought to be thanked for raising sugar booger for me.
Well, it's the worst language I ever heard.
Down in the country where I come from, about all there is to do for fun is chase groundhogs or set and whittle on a piece of wood. But the day that I was 23, a few things started to bother me, so I decided to find out the best way I could. Now I borrowed me a mule and I went to town, then I started to looking around. What I found, I wouldn't explain it if I could. But I'm right here to tell you now that there ain't nothing like it behind no plow. It's a lot more fun than whittling on a piece of wood. Hound dog howling, shavings flying, old folks fussing, children crying, old cow chewing on her cud, and I said whittling on a piece of wood. Went to one of them juke joint places, lights so dim you couldn't see their faces, but there's couples creeping slowly around the floor.
We had 2 glasses of apple juice, and when that baby turned me loose, I was headed every way but towards the door. She put both arms around me tight and said, "Come on, hayseed, this is the night. We'll show 'em how old country gets around." Got home next morning, dawn was a-breaking, feet aching, knees shaking. I tell you right now, this boy really went to town. Hound dog howling, shavings flying, old folks fussing, children crying, folk out chewing on her cud, and I sat whittling on a piece of wood. Now I went right back that place again. It was the very next Saturday night. And buddy, just as soon as I walked in, somebody yelled a fight. I thought that she'd be waiting for me, but I was in for a big surprise. 'Cause some guy about 6'3" done closed both of my eyes. Now today I'm back behind the plow, but this boy done learned a lot. There's just some of us that has it, and some that has it not. Hound dog howling, shavings flying, old folks fussing, children crying, folk out chewing on her cud, and I sat whittling on a piece of wood. I go to bed laughing and I wake up crying, 'cause I had that same old dream about you. Oh, I go to work singing and I come home bringing those same old heartaches for you. Now my friends never know it, 'cause I never show it, but I'm lonely inside. Since you went away, ain't seen a happy day, I'm just not satisfied. I go to bed laughing and I wake up crying, 'cause I had that same old dream about you. Same old dream about you. Well, I go to work singing and I come home bringing those same old heartaches for you. Oh, my friends never know it, 'cause I never show it, but I'm lonely inside. Since you went away, ain't seen a happy day, I'm just not satisfied. I go to bed laughing and I wake up crying, 'cause I had that same old dream about you. If I never met you, then I never cared. Wouldn't been a dreaming of a love I never shared. If I'd never knowed you, wouldn't love you like I do, but I did and I does and I do. Now if I'd never let you steal my heart away, never would have been a feeling this away. If I'd never seen you, wouldn't want you like I do, but I did and I does and I do. I done when I met you, gave my heart to you. Ask me if I love you, bet your heart I do. If I'd never kissed you and held you in my arms, wouldn't been a hankering for all your loving charms. If I'd never found you, then I guess I'd never knew, but I did and I does and I do. my heart to you. Ask me if I love you, bet your heart I do. If I never kissed you and held you in my arms, wouldn't then a hankering for all your loving charms. If I'd never found you, then I guess I'd never knew. But I did, and I does, and I do. Got a lot of loving in my system, got a lot of loving on my mind. Got a lot of loving for some lovely, when that lovely one I find. I'll be kind, never blind, to her charm she'll be wine, and be dined in my arms. Got a lot of love to give her shelter, got a lot of love to keep her there. I got a lot of love to give my lover, if my lover will be fair. I'll be there, do my share, if she'll stay, never dare even care to go away. Got a lot of leads on love to follow, got a lot of leads, say 2 or 3. Got a lot of leads, but one's a plenty. I'm so happy you can see, one can be right for me, loves for me, so is she. Got a lot of loving for my lover, got a lot of loving just for you. Got a lot of loving if you love me, and there's nothing I can do but be true, never blue from the start, 'cause it's you, only you in my heart. Got a lot of leads, said 2 or 3. I got a lot of leads, one's a plenty. I'm so happy you can see, one can be right for me, loves for me, so is she. Got a lot of loving for my lover, got a lot of loving just for you. I got a lot of loving if you love me, and there's nothing I can do but be true, never blue from the start, 'cause it's you, only you in my heart. If you want my loving, if you want my hugging, if you want my money, knock it off, knock it off, knock it off. If you want my kissing, all the things you're a-missing, lay it on me, pretty mama. Knock it off, knock it off, knock it off. Mama, love me like I want you to. Mama, thrill me, 'cause I just can't get enough of you. Well, I just gotta have you. Oh, I can't do without you. If you love me, pretty baby, knock it off, knock it off, knock it off. Mama, love me just like I want you to. Mama, thrill me, 'cause I just can't get enough of you. Oh, I just got to have you. Now I can't do without you. If you love me, pretty baby, knock it off, knock
it off. Knock it off. If you're thinking what I think you're thinking, I don't think I'm gonna like it. If you're doing what I think you're doing, I know I ain't gonna like it. If you're running around on me while my back is turned on you, don't think that you'll get by with it, 'cause I know just what to do. So if you're cheating like I think you're cheating, I don't think I'm gonna like it. If I find you've lied, I'm gonna tan your hide. I don't think you're gonna like it. If you're scheming like I think you're scheming, I don't think I'm gonna like it. And if you are meeting who I think you're meeting, I know I ain't gonna like it. If you're running around on me while my back is turned on you, don't think that you'll get by with it, 'cause I know just what to do. So if you're lying like I think you're lying, I'll be your judge and jury. Won't have to ask what the verdict will be, 'cause telling you now, you ain't gonna like it. Pick me a town in any clime where people lie a rockin' time, and stay away both day and night till everybody's feeling good and right, and then throw me smack dab in the middle. Picture me smack dab in the middle. Fling me smack dab in the middle, and let me rock and roll to satisfy my soul. 10 Cadillac, a diamond mill, 10 suits of clothes to dress to kill, a 10-room house, some barbecue, and 50 chicks not over 22. And then throw me smack dab in the middle. Plop of me smack dab in the middle. Chunk of me smack dab in the middle, and let me rock and roll to satisfy my soul. 100 bands with chorus girls, a street that's paved with natural pearls, a wagon load of bonds and stocks. Then open up the doors at Fort Knox, and then throw me smack dab in the middle. Pop of me smack dab in the middle. Chunk of me smack dab in the middle, and let me rock and roll to satisfy my soul. A lot of bread and gangs of meat, oodles of butter with something sweet, gallons of coffee to wash it down, bicarbonate soda by the pound. Then throw me smack dab in the middle. Picture me smack dab in the middle. Chunk of me smack dab in the middle, and let me rock and roll to satisfy my soul. Doop doo doo doop doo doo doo. I don't go chasing when day is done. Don't look for parties to have my fun. 'Cause I have you, and a real gold dream for two. I'll knock on wood, I've got it good. 'Cause I have you, don't need a new love to have my flame. Don't need a new song to make me sing. 'Cause I have you. When the long, long day is through, I'm never blue, sweetheart, it's true, 'cause I have you. Well, who needs money? Rather have honey anyway. Any old way. Fame's all reek, but sugar is sweeter any day. I feel so happy, so good inside. Well, I won't for nothing, I'm satisfied, 'cause I have you, you. That's enough, I'm well to do. I really rate, I'm doing great, 'cause I have you, 'cause I have you. Well, I won't for nothing, I'm satisfied, 'cause I have you. That's enough, I'm well to do. I really rate, I'm doing great, 'cause I have you. Honey, I'm never lonely, the blues will never bother me. I forgot the magic of your sweet love to keep me company. Baby, you really thrill me with your loving charm. You're just like a four-leaf clover when you're in my arms. Honey, I sure feel lucky when you're out with me. I forgot the magic of your sweet love to keep me company. It's the magic of your sweet love on my mind. It makes me feel so fine. I've had lots of loving before, but never had the magic kind. Honey, I'm never lonely, the blues will never bother me. I forgot the magic of your sweet love, keep me company. It's the magic of your sweet love on my mind that makes me feel so fine. I've had lots of loving before, but never had the magic kind. Honey, I'm never lonely, the blues will never bother me. I forgot the magic of your sweet love to keep me company. I forgot the magic of your sweet love to keep me company. Well, you're flirting with a wildcat, too wild to tame. The gal is full of fire, you're just fanning away. Wildcat, wildcat. A whole lot of this, a lot more of that. The gal ain't nothing but a wildcat. A real fine frame, a trim craft too. Every cat when he sees her goes ooh, ooh, ooh. Wildcat, wildcat. A lot of this, a lot more of that. That gal ain't nothing but a wildcat. arms around you like a bee in a cage. Wildcat, wildcat. A whole lot of this, a lot more of that. That gal ain't nothing but a wildcat. Done woke up this morning with an aching head, looking for my baby, but she had gone and left me with a hard road to travel. I'm feeling mighty low, a hard road to travel. Why do she treat me so? Baby's gone and left me feeling low. She just packed her own suitcase, then walked out that front door, left me a hard road to travel, a long ways to go. I said a hard road to travel. Why do she treat me so? Listen, let me tell you, if you're a happy man, don't you get yourself no woman. She will go away and leave you with a hard road to travel, a long way to go, a hard road to travel. Why do she treat me so?
Black denim trousers and motorcycle boots, and a black leather jacket with an eagle on the back. He had a hot Pepsicle that took off like a gun. That fool was the terror of Highway 101.
Well, he never washed his face and he never combed his hair. He had rusty ankles and his eyes a glassy stare. Neath the rust on his arm was a red tattoo, a picture of a heart saying, "Mother, I love you." He had a sugar booger by the name of Mary Lou. He treated her just like he treated all the rest, and everybody pitied her 'cause everybody knew he loved that dapper motorcycle best.
He wore black denim trousers and motorcycle boots, and a black leather jacket with an eagle on the back. He had a hot Pepsicle that took off like a gun. That fool was the terror of Highway 101.
Mary Lou, poor girl, she pleaded and she begged him not to leave. She said, "I've got a feeling if you ride tonight I'll grieve." Her eyeballs red in flame, and her every word was lost in the rumble of his engine and the smoke from his exhaust. He took off like a devil, there was fire in his eyes. He said, "I'll go a wagon greasing before the sun can rise." He had a screaming diesel that was California bound, and when they cleared the wreckage, here is what they found.
Was his black denim trousers and motorcycle boots, and a black leather jacket with an eagle on the back. But they couldn't find the sickle that took off like a gun, and they never found the terror of Highway 101.
Well, howdy, friends and neighbors. This is Bob Rickman giving you a great big welcome to Country Music Time, brought to you transcribed from Nashville, Tennessee, by your local Air Force recruiter in cooperation with this radio station. And here in person is the star of this week's show, Eddie Hill.
Makes no difference now what kind of life fate hands me. I'll get along without you now, that's plain to see. I don't care what happens next, 'cause I'll get by somehow. I don't worry, 'cause it makes no difference now. You were sweet as sweet could be when I first met you. I learned to love you and I thought you loved me too. But that's all in the past and I'll get by somehow. I don't worry, 'cause it makes no difference now. Makes no difference what kind of life fate hands me. I'll get along without you now, that's plain to see. I don't care what happens next, 'cause I'll get by somehow. I don't worry, 'cause it makes no difference now. It was just a year ago that I first met you. I learned to love you and I thought you loved me too. Now that's all in the past and I'll get by somehow. I don't worry, 'cause it makes no difference now. Much obliged and howdy, howdy, neighbor. This is your corn-fed and hand-spanked youngin' Eddie Hill saying so glad to be on Country Music Time. Welcome, everybody. And all the youngins are real pure. In fact, I'd like to show you. Fellers, how about being ashamed of yourself? A little dab of shame on you, will you? Now, shame, shame on you. Shame, shame on you. Took my car and my money, done me wrong, that ain't funny. Hide your face, shame on you. Now shame, shame on you. Shame, shame on you. You ran around with other guys, tried to lie when I got wise. Foolish gal, shame on you. Now shame, shame on you. Shame, shame on you. Can you hold your head up high? Look your friends right in the eye. No, you can't. Shame on you. Now shame, 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 shame on you. Oh, shame, shame on you. Give my heart as a token, when returned it was broken. Foolish gal, oh, shame on you. Well, much obliged, fellers. Thank you. That's like taking a hot cat-head biscuit and splitting it open, filling it full of good butter, ain't it? Yeah, boy. Mighty fine, fellers. Now kindly furnish me a little dab of new ground on one called San Antonio Rose. Deep within my heart lies a melody, a song of old San Antone. Where in dreams I live with the memory, beneath the stars all alone. It was there I found, beside the Alamo, enchantment strange as the blue up above. A moonlit path that only she would know. Still here's my broken song of love. Oh, moon in all your splendor, no lonely in my heart. Call back my rose, rose of San Antone. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own broken song. Empty words I know still live in my heart all alone. Oh, for that moonlit path that only she would know. Still here's my song of San Antone. And tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own broken song. Empty words I know still live in my heart all alone. For that moonlit path that only she would know. Still here's my song of San Antone.
Got to have a pull, and that ain't no bull. The Milk Cow Blues, what do you say over there? Give us an intro on that, fella. Well, I woke up this morning, looked out my door, and it was my milk, I tell it by the way she lows. If you see my milk cow, please drive her on home. Ain't had no milk and butter since that cow's been gone. Jury bird, yeah. That cow went away. Yeah. Play me fiddle, Roger, come on here now. Well, you got to treat me right day by day. Get out your little prayer book and on your knees and pray, 'cause you gon' need me, pretty baby. You gon' need my love someday. Ain't had no milk and butter since that cow went away. Well, much obliged. Thank you, fellers. And now let's kindly unbuckle our ears and let our tonsils fly on a good and cold 4 or 5 times. Oh, 4 or 5 times. Baby, 4 or 5 times. It's your pappy's delight doing things right. 4 or 5 times. Oh, 4 or 5 times. Baby, 4 or 5 times. Now, baby, I'll die, but I'm gonna try 4 or 5 times. Heedy beedy beedy whoa, skibidi beedy whoa, hidey hidey hi ho, oh 4 or 5 times.
ho. Oh, 4, 5 times. Beat the booty, beady, beady. Boom, 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 baby. Oh, maybe I'll die, but I'm gonna try. Oh, 4, 5 times. Feller's tongue and slap his brains out trying to get to a piece of bologna sausage there, wouldn't he? Neighbor, it's sure been a lot of fun over touring this house. We've enjoyed it. And this will be Eddie Hill saying for all the young'uns who picked mighty purty today, we'll salute you again with another show before too long. So take care of the young'uns. We'll see you next time for Uncle Sam's United States Air Force. Goodbye, and may God bless you.